coming together. Am I right?
Yes!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
It's addressed to the Right Honourable Theresa May, Prime Minister, 10 Downing Street. This letter is for publication and is dated the 29th of October 2016. Dear Madam, today marks the United Families and Friends 18th annual remembrance procession from Trafalgar Square to Downing Street. The United Family and Friends campaign, which is UFFC, is a non-profit organisation supporting a coalition of families whose loved ones have suffered severe injury or death as a result of excessive force or neglect by state officials charged within their care in suspicious and controversial circumstances. UFFC represents families of those who have died in police custody, following police contact, imprisonment, immigration, or mental health settings. A failure to implement change to address repeated systemic failures means the deaths continue. These are grave concerns for both the families involved and the general public. The highest numbers of deaths occur in prison and mental health settings. There is a disturbing and unacceptable increase in the number of people taking their own lives in prison. This is at an all-time high, despite repeated warnings about the unsafe conditions in prisons. There are also too many people dying in mental health settings, including children, and yet there is no equivalent to the prisons and probation ombudsman or the Independent Police Complaints Commission at present, and the NHS trust or provider investigates itself. When someone dies in a mental health detention, there needs to be an independent investigation held into the death. There is a serious inequality of arms for those families affected by a death in custody or detention, which requires much improved family victim support to include a mandatory requirement that gives families advice about where to go for independent advice and support. Their right to an independent post-mortem, full disclosure of relevant documentation, timely investigations, transparency, accountability, and compassion. There is a real problem with families not knowing where to go for help and who are suffering, often in isolation. Families should be entitled to non-means-tested public funding in order to be represented at inquests in the same way as unlimited public funding is used to fund lawyers representing the interests of the state. In July 2016, the retiring Chief Coroner, Peter Thornton QC, recommended public funding to be made available to bereaved families for inquests into state-related deaths. Families must be informed of any action taken in response to recommendations arising from investigations and inquests. We trust the imminent independent report of Dame Eilish Angeloni into deaths in police custody, commissioned by you, that's Theresa May, last year as Home Secretary, and its recommendations therein will be acted upon effectively and robustly. We also recommend a review of the Crown Prosecution Service. It's fundamental to address concerns about the lamentable failure to prosecute in these cases, either at an individual level or for corporate manslaughter. Members of UFFC invite you to meet personally to discuss the issues outlined in this letter, together with the charity Inquest that works with families, and we hope that you will accept this offer. We look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, the United Families and Friends Campaign.
intimidation or whatever they want to use to cover their own backs. We deserve to be treated with love, respect and loyalty of this country as citizens, and that's what we're going to fight for each and every single one of us, black, white, Chinese, young, old, fat, skinny, a lot of us. We're all one people and deserve one united treatment, and that's what we're going for. Zay, we love you always and every single one of you. We'll never forget you. You'll never be rotten and forgotten, never.